The
How
billionaire's
dare you touch
fiancé
that?
slapped the maid in front of everyone. The
Where did you
sound
get that?
echoed through the grand ballroom like a gunshot. Music stopped. Champagne glasses froze in midair. Conversations died in an instant. Every guest turned toward the young maid standing beside the dessert table, one hand pressed against her burning cheek. Sophia Brooks never fought back. She never raised her voice. She simply lowered her eyes the way she always did whenever someone richer reminded her where she belonged. Vanessa Carter smiled. She believed she had just taught a servant her place in front of New York's wealthiest families. But fate had something else planned. As Sophia struggled to steady herself, the delicate silver chain beneath her uniform snapped. A small bronze medal slipped from beneath her collar. It struck the marble floor with a sharp metallic sound. Clink. The metal spun once, twice, before stopping at the polished shoes of billionaire Ethan Brooks. His smile vanished. His breathing stopped. His fingers loosened around the crystal glass in his hand until it shattered across the floor. His eyes never left the metal. He knew it. He had spent 15 years searching for it, and nobody inside that ballroom was prepared for what would happen next. Sophia Brooks was 33 years old. For nearly 8 years, she had cleaned some of the most expensive homes in New York. She worked quietly. She arrived before sunrise. She left long after sunset. She never complained. Most people barely noticed she existed. She lived in a tiny apartment in Queens with her 10-year-old son, Noah. Every dollar she earned went toward rent, school supplies, and keeping food on the table. The old bronze medal was the only expensive-looking thing she owned, yet she never showed it to anyone. She kept it hidden beneath her uniform every single day. Whenever Noah asked about it, she simply smiled and said, "It's a reminder that doing the right thing doesn't always make life easier." 6 months earlier, Ethan Brooks had hired Sophia through a housekeeping agency after several employees retired. He never asked about her past. She never volunteered any details. To him, she was simply another hard-working employee helping maintain the enormous estate. But Ethan's 8-year-old daughter, Emma, saw something different. Emma loved following Sophia through the gardens while she worked. She said Sophia made the best hot chocolate. She braided Emma's hair before school. She listened patiently to every story Emma wanted to tell. One afternoon, Emma whispered, "I wish Sophia could stay forever." Ethan smiled but said nothing. He was too busy preparing for his upcoming wedding. He believed everything in his life was finally perfect. He had no idea that the quiet woman polishing his silverware carried a secret connected to the darkest day of his life. Not everyone treated Sophia with kindness. Vanessa Carter certainly didn't. Beautiful, elegant, sophisticated. She knew exactly how to impress New York society. But behind closed doors, she treated the household staff like furniture, especially Sophia. She criticized the way she folded towels. She complained if dinner arrived 30 seconds late. She intentionally left dresses scattered across the bedroom floor just to watch Sophia clean them. Sometimes she corrected Sophia's grammar in front of guests, laughing softly as if humiliation were entertainment. Sophia never answered. She simply apologized, even when she had done nothing wrong. Emma noticed everything. One afternoon, she watched Vanessa spill coffee across the living room rug. Before anyone else entered the room, Vanessa quietly pushed the empty cup beside Sophia's cleaning cart. When Ethan arrived moments later, Vanessa sighed dramatically. "I'm afraid your maid has become careless." Sophia opened her mouth, then closed it again. She accepted the blame. Emma pulled gently on her father's jacket. "Daddy, it wasn't Sophia." Ethan looked from his daughter to Vanessa. For just a moment, uncertainty crossed his face. Then his phone rang. An important business call. He walked away without asking another question. Sophia quietly cleaned the stain. Emma looked heartbroken. That evening, Ethan found Emma unusually quiet during dinner. "What's wrong?" he asked. Emma looked down at her plate. "I don't think Sophia smiles as much anymore." Those words stayed with Ethan longer than he expected. But wedding preparations consumed every hour of his life. Within weeks, hundreds of invitations had been sent. Politicians, celebrities, business leaders. The grand charity gala celebrating Ethan and Vanessa's engagement would become the social event of the year. Vanessa wanted perfection. She wanted every guest to admire her, and she wanted everyone to see her as the future Mrs. Brooks. On the afternoon of the gala, she handed Sophia a list of impossible tasks. Every chandelier had to sparkle. Every flower arrangement had to be flawless. Every crystal glass had to shine. Then Vanessa stepped closer. Her voice became cold. "If anything goes wrong tonight, don't bother coming back tomorrow." Sophia simply nodded. She had heard threats before. She only hoped to finish her shift and return home to Noah. As evening arrived, the mansion glowed beneath thousands of golden lights. Luxury cars lined the driveway. A string quartet filled the ballroom with music. Champagne flowed. Laughter echoed through every hallway. Everything appeared perfect, until one unexpected accident changed everything. A young waiter stumbled while carrying a tray. A glass of sparkling juice splashed across the front of Vanessa's designer gown. The waiter froze in horror, but before he could apologize, Vanessa turned. Her eyes locked onto Sophia, standing several feet away, holding nothing. Vanessa pointed directly at her. "She did this." The ballroom fell silent. Sophia blinked in confusion. I wasn't anywhere near." Vanessa didn't let her finish. She marched across the room. Her hand rose into the air, and before anyone could stop her, she slapped Sophia across the face. The silver chain snapped. The bronze medal slid across the marble floor. It stopped at Ethan's feet. He bent down slowly, picked it up, and his face turned completely pale. His voice barely escaped his lips. "Where did you get this medal?" Sophia's eyes widened. For a long moment, she couldn't answer. Every guest watched in complete silence. The bronze medal trembled slightly in Ethan's hand. His heartbeat pounded so loudly he barely heard the orchestra stop playing. Vanessa looked from the medal to Ethan in confusion. "It's just some old piece of metal," she said with an impatient laugh. "Why are you looking at it like that?" Ethan never took his eyes off Sophia. His voice shook. "This medal was awarded to only one civilian," he swallowed hard. "The person who saved my life 15 years ago." A murmur spread through the ballroom. Sophia lowered her head. She had prayed this day would never come. 15 years earlier, Ethan Brooks had been nothing more than a struggling young architect. One rainy evening, a bridge outside the city collapsed after a devastating truck accident. His car plunged over the guardrail. Metal twisted, glass exploded. Flames quickly surrounded the wreckage. Witnesses stood frozen in fear. Nobody dared move closer, except one young woman, Sophia. She had been walking home after finishing her nursing shift at a nearby hospital. Ignoring the fire and the danger, she rushed toward the wreck. She shattered the driver's window with a rescue hammer from an emergency box. Burning pieces of steel fell around her. She pulled the unconscious Ethan from the car just seconds before it burst into flames. The rescue left deep burns across her shoulder and arm. For weeks, she remained in the hospital, recovering from her injuries. The city honored her with a medal for extraordinary courage. Reporters searched for interviews. She quietly refused everyone. After leaving the hospital, she disappeared from public attention. A year later, her husband died unexpectedly from a sudden illness. Medical bills consumed their savings. She sold almost everything she owned. The medal became the only reminder that once, someone had called her a hero. Tears filled Ethan's eyes. "I searched for you," he whispered. "I wanted to thank you. I hired investigators. I donated to emergency rescue charities, hoping someone would recognize your name. But nobody ever found you." Sophia gave a small, tired smile. "You were alive. That was enough for me. I never saved you because I expected anything in return." She looked around at the silent guests. "Life simply took me somewhere else." No one spoke. Even the wealthiest people in the room lowered their eyes. Vanessa suddenly realized what she had done. She had slapped the woman who had once risked her own life to save the man she planned to marry. Her confident smile disappeared. "Ethan," she whispered, I didn't know." He slowly turned toward her. His expression was calm, but his disappointment was unmistakable. "You didn't know her story," he said quietly, "but you didn't need to. You only needed to treat another human being with respect." His words echoed through the silent ballroom. "You judged her because of her uniform. You humiliated her because you believed kindness belongs only to people with status." He looked down at the engagement ring on Vanessa's hand. Then, without anger, without raising his voice, he gently removed it. "This wedding will not happen." Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. She tried to apologize. She reached for Ethan's hand, but he stepped back. "The woman standing beside you built her life through sacrifice. You built yours through pride. We don't belong in the same future." Vanessa stood speechless. One by one, the guests quietly walked away from her. For the first time in her life, she stood completely alone. Then Ethan turned back toward Sophia. To everyone's astonishment, the billionaire slowly knelt before the maid, not because she worked for him, but because she had once carried him out of a burning car when nobody else would. "Thank you," he said, his voice breaking. "I've waited 15 years to say those words." Sophia wiped away a tear. "You don't owe me anything. I've already been repaid," she smiled gently. "You lived." Little Emma suddenly ran across the ballroom and wrapped both arms around Sophia. "I knew you were special," she whispered. The room filled with quiet tears. In the weeks that followed, Ethan insisted on helping Sophia, not as charity, but as gratitude long overdue. He paid every remaining debt left from her husband's medical treatment. He established an education fund for Noah, ensuring he could attend any university he dreamed of. Most importantly, he offered Sophia something she had almost forgotten she deserved: respect. SOP. Sophia never returned to wearing a maid's uniform. Instead, she accepted a position leading Ethan's charitable foundation, creating scholarships and emergency support for firefighters, nurses, rescue workers, and ordinary people whose acts of courage often went unnoticed. The old bronze medal no longer stayed hidden beneath her clothes. She wore it proudly, not because it made her a hero, but because it reminded people that true greatness is often found in the quietest hearts. Every Sunday, Ethan and Emma visited Sophia and Noah for dinner. There were no reporters, no grand speeches, just laughter around a small kitchen table. The kind of happiness money could never buy. The slap that Vanessa intended as an act of humiliation became the moment that revealed the greatest hero in the room. And sometimes, the people the world overlooks are the very ones who once carried someone else's future in their hands. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes kindness is stronger than pride. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you had been standing in that ballroom?